So you're thinking about moving to Woodbridge, Virginia, but you'd kind of like to know the pros and the cons about living in Woodbridge before you decide to make that big move. Well, in today's video, that's exactly what we're going to be covering. We're going to be talking about the good and the bad, the pros and the cons of living in Woodbridge, Virginia. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, working, and playing in Northern Virginia, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so that you'll never miss a video. My name is Amanda, and the team and I get calls every single day from people just like you looking to make their move to Northern Virginia, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, shoot us a DM on social, whatever works for you. We've got your back when you're making that move to Northern Virginia. So as I mentioned, we're going to be covering the pros and the cons of living in Woodbridge, Virginia, and let's get it started with the cons. The number one con of living in Woodbridge, Virginia, it's the cost of living. And I sound like a broken record on all of my videos. That is just a trait of Northern Virginia in general, but there is a little bit of good news. Woodbridge is not as expensive as, say, Arlington, Alexandria, Springfield, Fairfax. The overall cost of living in Woodbridge, Virginia is 28% higher than the national average. Housing in Woodbridge, Virginia is gonna run you about 40% more than that national average, and groceries are going to run you about 8% more. So definitely still an expensive place to call home. That's going to be across the board in Northern Virginia. It really doesn't make a difference if you're in Loudoun County, Prince William County, Arlington County, Alexandria City, Fairfax County. They're all pricey, but Woodbridge is at least a little bit less if you're willing to make that commute, which brings me to con number 2 though, traffic. Woodbridge definitely fits into the Northern Virginia traffic pyramid. It is not great in terms of commuting back and forth into DC or Tyson's Corner. Woodbridge is very close to 95, so you can get on the highway very easily, but 95 is definitely known for its congestion. And once you are in Woodbridge, if you're out doing errands or taking care of daily needs, you're going to run into some traffic there as well. Depending on where you live in Woodbridge, that could be on Prince William County Parkway. It could also be on Route 1. Those do back up during rush hour, and they're generally busy throughout the day. Con number 3 when living in Woodbridge, Virginia is going to be there is no metro station. And depending on how you like to get around, that may or may not be a con for you, but if you're looking for a city that has a metro station, well, Woodbridge should not be on your list. The closest metro station to Woodbridge is the Franconia Springfield station, and depending on where you live in Woodbridge, that could be anywhere from 10 to 15 miles away, and depending on traffic, that could be a pretty substantial commute. Really just depends on the day. If there's no traffic, of course, it'll only be 20, maybe 25 minutes. But if there is traffic, that can quickly turn into 45 minutes to an hour. Con number 4 is Woodbridge is pretty car dependent. You may be able to do some of your errands if you are close to a grocery store or shopping center, and Woodbridge does have a lot of those. But in terms of commuting to work, you are most likely going to need a car, even if that means you are commuting to a commuter lot within Woodbridge, or maybe you're going to be taking VRE into the city. You will most likely need a car to get to either of those locations. And depending on where you live in Woodbridge, you also may need a car to just run your daily errands, hit the grocery store, the pharmacy. It depends on what neighborhood you land in. That doesn't apply to all of them. Some you could probably take a 5, maybe 10-minute walk to get to the store, but others you are definitely going to be relying on your car to get around. Now that we've gotten the cons out of the way, let's get into the pros of living in Woodbridge, Virginia. Number 1 is affordable housing. And you might be going, wait a minute, you just said it's a con when living in Woodbridge, Virginia in terms of cost of living. But when we're focusing on Northern Virginia, Woodbridge does have far more affordable housing than Arlington, Alexandria, Fairfax. Even if you went out to Loudoun County in the Leesburg area, Ashburn, Woodbridge has more affordable housing. So if you're willing to make that commute, or maybe you can work from home every day of the week or just a few days a week, so it's worth it to you to live further outside of DC and the Beltway so that you can get more bang for your buck, Woodbridge is certainly worth considering. Pro number 2 is housing options. Woodbridge has all types of housing. You will find condos, you will find townhomes, single family homes, homes on acreage. You'll also find new construction and 55 plus communities. No matter what you're looking for in terms of the type of housing out there, Woodbridge has got you covered. Pro number 3 is shopping and dining options. Woodbridge has so many shopping centers, and it also has Potomac Mills Mall that we mentioned in our vlog. Potomac Mills has over 200 stores, so you can certainly find what you're looking for there if you're going on a shopping trip. And as far as daily needs, grocery store, pharmacy, dry cleaners, auto repair, Woodbridge really does have an endless amount of options, so you will never be without or have to drive too far out of your way to get what you need. The other thing that Woodbridge has a wonderful selection of is restaurants. And something that has improved on the dining scene in Woodbridge in the last couple of years that they were really lacking, they have more mom and pop options, boutique options, where just a couple years back, it was really all commercialized spots. Nothing wrong with that, but if you're a foodie like myself, you probably like to try the one-offs and the family-owned places, ones that you can't get anywhere else, and that is improving in Woodbridge. It's on the come up, it's not quite there yet, but you'll find more options than you did a couple years ago. Pro number 4 for Woodbridge, Virginia is the parks. If you enjoy the great outdoors, Woodbridge has so many options that are nearby neighborhoods to go and get outside. You have Neabsco Regional Park, which is 300 acres. You have Lee Sylvania State Park, which is 508 acres, and that's located along the Potomac. So they have a boat ramp, you can canoe or kayak if you're interested in getting out on the water, plenty of hiking trails, and they also have fitness stations if you want to go and work out there. There's also Mason Neck State Park, River Mill Park, Occoquan Regional Park. I could go on and on. Woodbridge has a fabulous amount of parks in the area that aren't too far from neighborhoods for you to be able to enjoy if that's something that interests you. That about wraps it up for our pros and the cons of living in Woodbridge, Virginia. Woodbridge is a great option if you're looking for your money to go a little bit further and you don't mind being further away from DC, Tyson's Corner, Arlington, and the airports. Or maybe you are able to work from home and the commute doesn't matter to you at all. It's definitely an area worth checking out in Northern Virginia. As always, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, whatever works for you. We've got your back when you're making that move to Northern Virginia. Until next time, we hope to show you around town.